It is time to diagnose President Biden with advanced Alzheimer's disease. Today, Biden confused Vladimir Putin with Saddam Hussein, stating that Putin lost the war in Iraq.
It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home. It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home.
President Biden thinks he is living in the 2000s and is confusing the Ukraine war with the Iraq war that already happened. This is a sign that President Biden is suffering from advanced stages of Alzheimer's. In the early stages of Alzheimer's, people may have occasional lapses in memory and difficulty recalling recent conversations or events. However, as the disease progresses, these memory problems become more severe. People with advanced Alzheimer's often have significant difficulty forming new memories and may rely heavily on their long-term memory, which can result in confusing current events with past events. Another video of Biden went viral today when Biden couldn't say the word concentrated. Instead, Biden said the word concercated. He ultimately failed at correcting his words and mumbled a non-coherent joke. The crowd laughed, but it's hard to tell if they're laughing with him or at him.
Economic theory, 3/4 of U.S. industries grew more consecrated. I'm thinking I didn't go to Mass. They were moving to diminish competition. I've long said, and I mean this, I was on the Tibetan Plateau with Xi Jinping. I traveled 17,000 miles with him. I've spoken with him more than any other head of state because it started when I was vice president, and President Hu was the president, and he was the vice president. We knew he was going to be successful. It was inappropriate for Barack to spend that time with him, but I spent a lot of time with him. I met alone with him, just he and I, and a simultaneous interpreter 68 times, 68 hours, 68 times, more than 68 hours. By the way, I turned in all my notes.
Let's quote Biden word for word on this one. I long said, and I mean this, I was on bed to Plato with Xi Jinping, traveled 17,000 miles with him. I've spoken with him more than any head of state because it started when I was vice president and president, who was the president and he was the vice president, and we knew he was going to be successful. Was it appropriate for Barack to spend that time? But I spent a lot of time with him. I let alone with him, just he and I and a simultaneous interpreter 68 times, 68 hours, 68 times, more than 68 hours. By the way, I turned in all my notes. Tucker Carlson is warning America that Gavin Newsom could become the president in 2024. Carlson stated that Gavin Newsom is becoming best friends with President Biden, and it could be a sign that Newsom is attempting to undermine Kamala Harris and replace her in the 2024 election. The theory is that if Biden wins the 2024 election, he will soon pass away or be forced to step down, and the new VP Gavin Newsom will become the 47th president. The CEO of Anheuser-Busch went on CBS Morning and refused to take responsibility for Bud Light's failed advertisement campaign that featured Dylan Mulvaney. Instead of apologizing or admitting they were wrong, he stated that it is a difficult time and many other corporations are going through the same thing. Instead of being a man and dumping woke politics, he acted like a bitchy victim.
This moment in America with trans issues at the top of a Republican social or conservative political agenda. Knowing what you know now, if you could go back, would you send this can to this one person again?
There's a big social conversation taking place right now, and big brands are right in the middle of it. And it's not just our industry or Bud Light. It's happening in retail. It's happening in fast food. And so for us, what we need to understand is, deeply understand and appreciate, is the consumer and what they want, what they care about, and what they expect from big brands.
Here's the meme of the day. Go home, straight to the gulag. That does it for today's news. Remember, I'm the fake one. You all are the real ones. Remember to buy fireworks for this 4th of July. Independence Day is coming up.